I was gonna record this episode indoors, but it was such beautiful weather that I decided to record outdoors. And it's recording. So hello guys, it's me, non-resistant, really here with the last episode of season 3. So I I've kind of you've kind of you could say that I've kind of been making plans for the last episode of season 3 all year. But yeah, it's finally come down to doing it, to recording it, and I think I just want to keep it short and sweet. Don't want to say too much. It's been an awesome and amazing season 3 of the Sunshine Podcast, and I've experimented with different things. I had lots of amazing guests on this season. Many people I've never met or heard of before. Yeah, I really enjoyed introducing you to new people. And in the last few weeks, I've been really, I don't know, this whole season, I've been, well, not the whole season, part of the season, I've been kind of exhausted, kind of wore out. Um, but yeah, I've still managed to do, I would say, fairly good episodes. Some episodes, it's interesting, the different format. Like I was saying, like some episodes I've been, I ramble on, talk more than other episodes, and so I've experimented with the format. Because I try to make them watchable, right? Because it is both a video podcast and an audio podcast, and then I try to make it listenable. So I'm trying to, I've had some bad audio episodes where like the audio quality is not as good as it could have been, and I hope the audio quality for this episode is good. I don't know if you can see it here. I have a mic on my shirt. It's kind of black, so it blends in with my purple here. Um, oh, and another thing. So if you're watching the video, you'll notice that I'm recording this outside. It's such a beautiful day outside. I love, yes, summer, spring and summer is my favorite season. Yeah, and so yeah, and so if you've been a long time listener, or even a short time listener, if you're new to the Sunshine Podcast, you know that it's something that I do during the fall and winter months to shine some light into your life during the darker parts of the year. Uh, Winter though has been pretty amazing this year, where I live here in Texas. Uh, Different definitely than Canadian winters. So I don't know what winter has been like for you. And that's why I always say, I'd love to connect with you. I don't know who you are listening to this. I'd love to connect with you on Instagram. Feel free to send me a direct message. Share with me, just how your winter has been, or personal story if you want. Just because the Sunshine Podcast season 3 is ending, I mean, well, guess what that means? It means I will be doing a season 4 next year, but doesn't mean that you won't hear from me all summer or that there won't be nothing all summer. Like I'm gonna be like doing my own videos on my own YouTube channel, but I can continue hearing your stories if you want to connect with me on Instagram. But I can continue sharing them in different ways. Experiment with different ways to share, and content doesn't necessarily have to be in podcast format. Um, I want to share a few. Oh, yeah, I was looking at my notes here. I have a few notes for this closing episode here. I was going to share a few things. I should have updated these notes. I I started taking notes a few weeks back, but I didn't really go in depth on certain things here. But I was going to share some new things I tried this year. The only thing I have written there is Instagram live stream, which with a guest. So I did, yeah, did, that was fun. Did that a few weeks ago for my podcast, and um the summer, could do more live streams. If you want to be a guest, one thing I always invite my listeners to, be a guest on my show. And um, yeah, what else have I tried? I'm trying to think of other new things that I've tried this year. I've tried, I mean, just recently, I started using a new video editor, DaVinci Resolve. Um, I, you know, I've tried another new thing that I tried this year is this app called Matchmaker.fm. It's not for finding dates. It's for finding podcast guests. um, oh, that reminds me of another new thing I tried this year. Yeah. So I've that's where a majority of my podcasts this year came from that app. And yeah, we found lots of amazing guests on there, and lots of amazing people reached out to me and said they'd like to be a guest on my podcast. But another thing I tried this year, remember at the beginning of this year, I tried opening every episode with a joke, but I am not really a very humorous person, and that didn't turn out very good. And I just had to cut that out of my podcast because it just wasn't, yeah. And something that I want to do on my podcast. So that's a few new things I've tried this year. Uh, what are some things? What are some new things you tried this year? So transitioning from new things that just try this year for season during season 3 of the Century Podcast. I want to talk about how I love how kind of the episodes flowed. Kind of like I started season 3 with an episode titled "It Is Time," and go back and listen to that if you haven't. I think it's a really good episode. I know it's been a few months back since I did it, the beginning of the year, and I haven't listened to it since I did it. But I remember it was good. It's time for you to start something new, maybe. Um, and today, I'm titling this episode "It's Time to End Season 3 of the Sunshine Podcast" because that's what time it is. It's time to end Season 3 of the Sunshine Podcast and I'm going to take a break until fall. Um, and yeah, I hope I'm not going in circles here. And hopefully season 4 will be, I want to experiment with different things over the next few weeks and over the summer months and yeah, and rest up and make big plans for season 4. So hopefully it will be an amazing season. Now here's some things you can do while you are waiting for season 4. And a part of me, like I was saying, how I try to make this watchable. A part of me wanted to make like this fun video where I like point here and there and be like, and then have like words pop up on screen. But I'm not even gonna bother doing that. I'm just gonna share with you some things that you can do while you're waiting for season 4. Um, make sure you're following me on social media. So as as you heard me said already on this episode and on past episodes, and there will be a link in the description to where you can find me on Instagram. But at the Sunshining NCR on Instagram, at the Sunshining on Twitter, and I may create more Instagram profiles for myself. I don't know because but for now that's what it is. And if it changes on Instagram, it will be at the Sunshining. But you just search the Sunshining on any platform, Facebook as well. You'll find the Sunshining. Or so where am I going here? So my next thing, I have these numbered here. My next thing on my list here, subscribe to my personal YouTube channel. So my personal YouTube channel is Non-Resistant Really. So you can find me at Non-Resistant Really on YouTube as well. So the Sunshining Podcast has the YouTube channel where you listen to the Sunshining Podcast here on YouTube. I also have the Sunshining YouTube channel, which doesn't have nothing. I haven't used that channel for anything yet. I do have, well, I've used it for my audio Bible, but I might remove this file. I'm giving you too much detail here, and I know I'm boring you to death. But can I just do that? This is my podcast. Um, I have a Sun Bible YouTube channel. I have like but so just some names to find. But Non-Resistant Really on YouTube. That's the currently the only place you can find me at Non-Resistant Really. I need to create, like I was saying, maybe a personal social media profile for myself. You can find me at um I do have a Facebook page for myself, but most young people don't even use Facebook, so I'm not going to bother sharing that. So two things so far. So I know rambling on and boring you to death, giving you too much detail. So I'm going to re-summarize the first two things. So make sure you're following me on social media at Sunshine NCR, and then also connect with me and share your thoughts and ideas. Okay, subscribe to my personal channel, Non-Resistant Really. Number 3, find other great podcasts to listen to. So something I did, it's been a while, but something last year that I really did, and last year, and then I think the year before that, so 2 years ago and last year. So I really listened to a pile of podcasts, and I was listening to like hours and hours and hours of podcasts with it. And, I binge listened to lots of podcasts. Um, but it has been a while since, so maybe that's something I personally need to do. Maybe myself is listen to other podcasts. But I encourage you to listen to other great podcasts while you're waiting for season 4 of the Sunshine Podcast to come out, because there will be a season 4 in the fall. Um, here's my fourth thing on my list of things you can do while you're waiting for season 4 of the Sunshine podcast. Think of some ways you can use your God-given skills to spread some sunshine. Because that's what I love to do with my podcast. I love to spread just some sunshine, just some inspiration, spread some truth. Help people get into God's word, spread the gospel, that kind of stuff. And I love doing that through my podcast and through my social media and through my YouTube. Um, but I don't. I heard a good sermon today. Um, about how yeah, like you move through stages. And when you first come to Christ, you're a new believer. But then as you grow, you yeah, and then you get to that stage where um yeah, you're mature. And as mature people, we need to be bringing more. We need. I don't know. I'm terrible at summarizing it, and I'm trying to summarize it in different words than it was preached. But we're not called just to be saved, or just frustrated. We're called to save others, right? We're called to spread the gospel to others, and share Jesus with others. We're called to, yeah. That's kind of a whole other topic for a whole other episode. But just, I know it, and I believe you know it as well. That, um, and it's something Jesus said. Go into into all the world and um, make disciples of all men. And so that's something that we're all called to be a part of. Um, yeah. And so don't just and Christian content. I love I love creating Christian content like my podcast, and I love consuming Christian content like Christian music, Christian whatever, and it's great to consume it, but don't just um consume it for yourself. Share it with others. Well, not well. Don't. It's not about the con. It's not about the. Yeah, I'm really going in depth with this. It's not about because I'm terrible at wording it, and then I'm going in depth to try to clear out what I said. So it's not about, and then I'm saying anything. It's not about the Christian content, right? It's about Jesus. So share Jesus with your friends. Share Jesus. But just think of let me just. I know I should have just stuck like strictly to my notes and just read these points. So point number 4 on my list here is think of some ways you can use your God-given skills to spread some sunshine. Um, and the best way to spread some sunshine is just to share Jesus, right? Okay, point number 5 on my list here is continue studying the Bible. As you know, on this season, and as I like to do on my podcast, um, is help people get into God's Word. And so I've shared lots of verses from the Bible this year, and just continue studying the Bible, right? That is very very important, and figure out what way studying the Bible works for you. Point number 6 on my list here: rewatch your favorite episodes of season 3, and share it with a friend. Rewatch or re-listen, yeah. And then that's kind of I just have 6 different points there. But think of some other things that you can do with your life while you're waiting for season 4 of the Sunshine Podcast. Um, yeah, that's just about a wrap for this episode. Just keeping it short and sweet here. Something that I've been told by one person earlier this year is that I have a podcaster voice, and I was like, really? For one, I don't even talk that much in person. I'm like, what makes you think I have a podcaster voice? Because I certainly don't think I have a podcaster voice. But maybe that's what, maybe over the years, this is a third year podcasting, and maybe my maybe my podcaster voice is grown. Maybe I do have a podcaster voice. I don't know. Maybe I'm becoming better at podcasting. Um, yeah. Well, that's it for season 3 of the Sunshine Podcast. It has been awesome doing season 3, and yeah, I'm looking forward to taking a break and doing other exciting projects. So links to the Sunshine Podcast website and my social media is in the description of this. Um, Maybe I'll try to include extra links in this description because there's other places but I always share my links to social media. So make sure that's the best place to stay connected with me, I think, on Instagram. But I do so many other things. So if you're a fan of me, which I know that I'm not somebody that's super cool, but um if you've enjoyed the Sunshine Podcast and if it's beneficial to you, I hope that not only has it helped you grown spiritually, but I also hope that you have become a fan of me, right? Listening to this podcast, and that you follow me everywhere I do stuff. Like I said, on my personal YouTube channel, and then I have a new thing that I created is sunshining lyric videos. I love to create lyric. If you love Christian music, I have I've something that I try to kind of do on my podcast is share a song every episode, but I haven't really been doing that consistently. But if you love Christian music, subscribe to my Sunshining Lyric video channel. I love to make amazing. I've done actually some of them. So I've done a couple songs that aren't necessarily Christian songs, but I try to do Christian lyric videos. Make lyric videos for Christian songs. Anyways, that's something. What are some other things? There's definitely many other projects that I'm working on over this summer. Um, so just yeah, stay tuned. Make sure you hit the subscribe button here and the notification bell here and everywhere else that you can follow me. So I'm gonna stop recording before I ramble on too much longer. See you next year, if I don't see you sooner.